Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Online Karting League Africa. This is round one with our championship, or for our championship of the 2025 season. We are racing at ATCM Mozambique. What an awesome facility we are racing at tonight. We are also again returning to the T4 karts. Of course, those that know the Tillotson series will know that this body kit isn't supposed to be on those karts. But that is because we have allowed the karts to be changed, the plastics on them rather. Engines are the same, chassis are pretty much exactly the same. So as you can see, Deacon Willifeed, who we are currently following, is racing with the 2025 Tillotson. Some of the drivers are driving with something else. So my name is Sean Lopesher, and I will be hopefully entertaining you guys with what promises to be an epic night. 15 karts on track. We have a couple guys that withdrew very last moment, power outages, classic South African things that we are experiencing. A couple guys also losing internet, unfortunately. Those are what we will call technical problems in the real world. If you rock up to a race and your engine decided not to work, same concept for the guys online. No internet or equipment failures. Those are things we have to deal with in the online space. But last couple minutes of practice, let's have a quick look at what ATCM looks like. So as you can see now, into turn 1, pretty much this whole section is flat out through the chicane. Turn 2 and 3, 4 flat out. We'll have maybe a slightest lift into 6, which is a sharp right-hander, but the karts will grip through there. Then there's turn 7, our first braking zone, and passing opportunity probably, and then into 9 as well. Then we're going to go into another, if you can set it up around the outside on 10 and 11 and 12, you can probably pass. Then it's flat out through 13, 14, 15, 16, and then another lift, throw that kart into 17 and run it wide and flat out. It is a super flat surface, 0.5 meters worth of elevation. As you can see, the facility, the grass is well looked after. I can promise you, when we were there, I think it was last year or the year before, the grass was not cut at all, and it was very long. But luckily the groundsman is always working, and the grass is looking fantastic around this facility. We've been following Deacon Willifeed in his practice for a while now. Lucas Sturman, last year's champion in the South African series, a very fast driver, also now part of the Masters division this year. He's sporting his OTK, his Angry Esports suit, and his beautiful looking helmet. I believe that was made by Alphonse Kiwi, who's also the graphics designer for pretty much all of the OKL sticker kits. We have the 16th kart has now joined. Who is new? Is that Alexander Prizovic that has joined and is now new? Yeah, so we should probably even have one more driver if they sort out their issues. Might have 17 karts on track tonight. That would be a jam-packed grid. Like I said, with a couple late or last-minute withdrawals, we would have seen a full 24 kart grid. Nonetheless, this should be an epic event. 1 minute remaining in our practice session. Then we'll go into a 10-minute qualifying. After that, with almost no break in between, a 10-lap pre-final and then a 15-lap final. ATCM, it is almost flat out all the way through. These Tillotsons are slow, ladies and gentlemen, compared to what these kids are used to in the South African series. Tillotsons are very slow, but they make for the absolute best racing. We have added our juniors category in the seniors and masters. They're all racing combined. So if you see any kart with the number 200, they will be classed as your seniors. Anybody with a 300 will be a junior, and then anybody within the hundreds. Only 2 masters tonight with a couple late withdrawals. Like I said, Lucas Tim and Mark Pollard, they will be our masters, and then a nice host of seniors and juniors. Now, this is the nice thing about the online space, or of the online space, is we can race. Doesn't matter how old you are. There's no weight restrictions. There's technically age restrictions, but with these karts, they handle easy enough. The boys will have a lot of fun, and as you just saw, some karts starting to fly. We have now gone into our qualifying. You'll see all these karts just start racing out of here very quickly because they want to maximize their track time. And you'll also see a lot of grip build up onto the track. All of them coming out. Lucas Sturman, the first one to go out. He's having none of it. He wants to get away. He doesn't want to pull anybody along because the tow, as we know, as with the Mini 60s and the Tillotson carts, is worth so much. You don't want to be towing somebody along. So Lucas Sturman said, I'm getting out of here and I'm not waiting. Well, you can see the rubber, the grip, the dark racing line, that black, very, very dark racing line already appearing after just 10 minutes worth of practice. So these boys are putting down the rubber. And that could potentially cause problems if the track has got too much rubber. Too much of a good thing is not always great. But we'll see if the boys manage to do that. Especially with these carts, momentum is so important. You don't want to grip the cart too much and then lose because you're over driving this cart. But this track is pretty much flat out anyway, so I almost want to say it doesn't even matter. Just checking sound and video quality, everything's coming through fine. I don't want to have the same scenario like the last race where I was speaking to myself for about 10 minutes before I realized that I was on the wrong stream. Lucas Sturman starting his first lap. We'll keep an eye on the timing sheet now because he will be the first one to register a lap, running wide there. A little bit too wide for my liking, touching the grass. He would have gotten away with that, I would think. So look at the momentum through there. Seems like he's turned a little bit too much. The 147 of Lucas Sturman. It used to be the 247, who's now been moved up into the Masters category for this season with the change of regulations. Lucas Sturman crossing the line in first place right now, a 53.6. Deacon Willifeer immediately going faster, 53.3. Then Leighton van der Merwe, half a tenth behind. Jake Steyn, 1 second off the pace there. Massey Hicks. Oh, look at that. The first four guys, less than a tenth. Wow, that is so close. But advantage, Deacon Willifeer after lap 1. Matteo Sudiel, Massey Hicks, both angry esports drivers in the OKL space. The number 2 cart of Blake Molt just chilling in the pits. What's happening there? He might be waiting for something. I don't know what. There he's chilling out. Maybe wants to grab a tow from somebody. Yeah, you see, he's started too late there. Not ideal if you just stand there and wait. Deacon Willifeer does improve on his lap. He's gone up by a couple tenths there. So Willifeer on top of it in the qualifying. Literally just picking up where he left off in the South African series. Sturman has lifted off that lap. Maybe he's trying to grab a tow and see where he can learn. Van der Merwe is, I say a couple tenths. I think Willifeer made a little bit more than a couple tenths. It's just Van der Merwe that also had a decent lap, but still 2.5 tenths of the pace. Miso Tapiri, one of our youngsters, part of the Kart Republic Africa crew, with his beautiful looking helmet designed by Alphonse Kiwi as well. Blake Molt just sitting behind him. He's got a pushed back nose gun. Won't be a problem during the qualifying. But during the races, 5-second penalties. So the boys would have to keep their carts as clean as they possibly can. Keep an eye on Miso Tapiri. Where is he currently? In 9th place. Max Bosov, one of the juniors, also moving himself up into 6th place now. And then the local boy who will be Daniel Resende from Mozambique, and he is our only international entry for tonight, I believe. Let me just double check my sheets. But if I have it correct, Daniel Resende is the only boy from... Oh, here comes driver number 313, Ruan Victor. Sorted out these issues. He's online. He's going to leave it for the last couple minutes to qualify. Victor also very, very quick in OKL, in the juniors category. But like I was saying, Daniel Resende, the only driver outside of South Africa. We had a Namibian entry who unfortunately had to withdraw due to internet problems. And then we've got a whole stack of new entries that will probably start joining us from the next race. A couple more international drivers. When I say international, outside of South Africa. So still part of the African continent, and we'll hopefully see this championship grow even more. Let's have a quick look at what the calendar will look like for the rest of the season in the Africa Championship, which will be round number 2 in June. We'll be at Swartkops in South Africa. Then the 19th of August we'll have Tony Rist in Namibia, and we'll finish the season off the 14th of October for those that are still in Africa, not racing internationally, because I know that's rock time. We'll have Kalani down in Cape Town, South Africa as well. So it's going to be a action-packed season. Only 17 carts on track today, and we've got 4 rounds. No drop rounds, so every single round will count. Leighton van der Merwe. I think he did 1 race last year, or 2 races last year. He came in swinging in his very first race. Was one of the top contenders there. I believe it was a Tony Rist last year as well, where he just came in and was leading the race, and I think something happened, if memory serves me right. So Van der Merwe wants to get the East Championship hunt on a very positive note this season, and I know he loves these 4-stroke carts. And right behind him, Deacon Olivier still leading the way, still the fastest lap. Pricevic still not on track, so let's just have a quick look. Is Pricevic even on the server? He's still saying sync. That's one of the admins, Mamalok, trying to get in. Alright, so Pricevic having some issues to connect. That's unfortunate. Hopefully it gets sorted for him in the very near future. It's just one of those things. Nothing we can do about it right now, so... Van der Merwe, does he improve? No. Deacon Olivier grabs a toe. Van der Merwe might have realized that maybe I should just tuck in behind Olivier. Because Olivier grabbed the toe there to start off the lap, so he's going to have a nice little slingshot. Tucking, trying to maximize his lap time. Let's do a onboard. See if we can get an onboard here with... No, that's the rear view. There we go. Want to see how Deacon Olivier does his footwork. As you can hear, this 4-stroke kart pretty much flat out. You can't even see him lift. He's lift. Just a slight lift. It doesn't even sound like he put his foot on the brakes at all. Just lift, throw the kart in, and oh, he's lifting. He's going to try and steal another toe. Who are we currently following? Lucas Sturman. So let's see. Lucas Sturman, oh, he's going to be held up here a little bit. Lucas Sturman's going to go. Yeah, he's going to lift off. He's going to maybe try and do one more lap. Which, gentlemen, we are just trying to get a nice little onboard. No need to lift. Ron Victor, the late entry there, getting onto the server. Let's follow him and see if he's going to be able to get his lap time on board. I see Ron Victor is using Ntiyiso Mabunda's helmet from back in the karting days. Let's see if Victor's going to be able to get a good lap on board. Jake Steyn, 1.6 seconds off the pace. So the top 15 split by 1 second. Deacon Olivier sending it down the inside. Ron Victor's not going to be able to improve on that lap, unfortunately. Alright, I believe the drivers will now finish their qualifying laps. Yeah, Mozambique crossing the line in 11th place. Massey Hicks. Okay, let's see all the drivers finishing now. I just want to get... Okay, yeah, all of them have now finished their race. Or their qualifying, rather. Right, here we go. Into our pre-final. Let's have a quick look at that starting position. Deacon Williford taking another pole in the OKL category. The seniors, or seniors masters, they're all combined tonight. But Deacon Williford with a 52.655. Just over 1.5 tenths later. Oop, there's, I think, a couple of guys got a disqualification. Yeah, a whole bunch of jump starts, my word. Leighton Van der Merwe in second, Lucas Sturman in third, Max Boshoff will be in fourth place. Third row, Liam Tekiso and Ruben Victor lining up together. On the fourth row, we've got Massey Hicks and Daniel Resende. Then Mateo Sujol Resende, the local boy to ATCM in 8th place. Sujol in 9th, Ruvan Maritz, newcomer, in 10th place. Miso Tepedi in 11th, Mark Pollard 12th place. Diego and Tunes will be in 13th, Blake Malt in 14th place. Ruan Victor, who was very late to the party there, in 15th. Jake Stein will be in 16th place, and then no lap set by Alexander Pricevic. Technically outside of Africa. He lives in South Africa, races here down in Cape Town. I believe he's a Serbian of nationality, but part of the South African racing scene. So always good to see Pricevic join and race with us. Alright, here we go. This is lights out and away we go. Deacon Williford getting a decent start. Let's see Leighton van der Merwe. Oh, we already see cars pushing each other just behind him. Williford getting away very well with Lucas Sturman tucking in second place. And then a position gained there. Max Boshoff moving up into third. So Leighton van der Merwe losing out a couple positions right off the start. Then behind him we've got the 247 of Massey Hicks, who has taken Lucas Sturman's position number from last year. Mateo Sujal, Ruvan Maritz, Tekiso, Liam Tekiso, Miso Tepedi running very wide there. Blake Mall, Diego Antunes, Mark Pollard, Jake Stein, Pricevic. Who have we lost here at the back? Couple drivers, or three drivers rather. Victor, Resende, and the older cousin, Ruben Victor. Now, Lucas Sturman's already moved up into P1. We've missed that going through the grid there. Sturman into P1 now. And Deacon Williford right behind him. And then Massey Hicks. Deacon Williford in an OTK sandwich. In an angry esports sandwich, rather. Williford. Will he be able to get past Sturman? Is he going to send it or just sit behind him and navigate this race? Oh, we see a driver running very wide there in the background. That's the 261 of... Who was that? Mateo Sujal running very wide. Lucas Sturman. Oh, lift. Just looking over his shoulder and turning towards Williford. Just showing him he's not going to get past me right now. You're going to have to tuck in here and sit here. Massey Hicks all over the back of him. Massey Hicks, of course, part of Lucas Sturman's team. Williford wants nothing of that right now. He's all over the back of Sturman. Sturman with a very defensive drive, and this is a momentum card. And as the defense goes aggressively there by Sturman, Williford gets the inside line. Oh, I say that. Yeah, he's going to get the inside line into the chicane, and it just nudges Sturman off a little bit wide. Sturman gets onto the curb, gets it sideways, and that opens the door for Massey Hicks as well. Sturman will be wise. He won't just try and fight that immediately. He knows Hicks has got the pace. He's probably going to just give him a little bump draft down the straight, and look at that. Just gives him a nudge on the back, pushes him forward, and try to catch Williford. But that does, that little scuffle between Williford and Sturman, and Sturman just running a little bit wide. They open the door for Olivier to run away with this one now. Right behind him, Liam Tekiso and Matteo Sujal all over each other here. Sujal all over the curbs. Another angry esports driver. Tekiso. Now getting into the toe. Liam Tekiso, that is. Yes, he's all over the back of Sujal, and he's got a lot of pace. Will he be able to send it somewhere? Let's have a look. Doesn't seem to be the case. So the driver that's lost the most in the start of this race is Leighton van der Merwe. Leighton van der Merwe has lost a lot. He was in P2. He's currently running in P6, which is far from ideal. And then Miso Teperi just right behind him in the Tillotson 2025 body kit with his Scotch Republic suit and his custom helmet. Miso Teperi, one of the young up-and-coming drivers out of our juniors category, really all over the back of Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe's got a lot of pace. Oh, we see Sujal run wide here, and that's going to cost him a couple positions down the straight. Yeah, as you can see, you don't want to be doing any lawn mowing with these 4-strokes, because if they're not on the tarmac, they are going to lose you a lot of positions. The gap up front is quite big, so we're just going to go through the field quickly to see what is happening behind here. Oh, Max Bosov with a rear bumper off his car. That is a technical non-compliance, which means Bosov has to retire from the race. I wonder if the stewards has picked that up. If not, they will ask him to retire, and that means he has to start the race at the back. Bosov, we've got Jake Steyn being pushed off there and running onto the grass and then spinning out. Daniel Resende, who had a really good qualifying, is now currently sitting in P30, so he's lost about 3 positions, I think, from the start. Victor moving his way through, Ruben Victor, that is, the field after not having a great start to the race. Ruvan Maritz, the newcomer to OKL, well, at least to the league side of it. Super cool to see the boys not only using OKL as a training tool, but also coming to join us in the league races. And that's really cool. And so shout out there to Ruvan. And we've got a slow kart on track there. Molt getting it all kinds of wrong. Rejoining and trying to pick up the momentum once again. Mark Pollard, the Masters champion from last season, hence the 101. Struggling at the back at the moment. Just having a bit of a lonely race. And then Jake Steyn, who we saw run wide in the back. Alright, Deacon Willifeed will take us to lap 6, start of lap 7. Right behind him, Lucas Thurman's coming back at Willifeed. 1.3 is the gap. He's gone past Hicks. Now he kind of needs to move along. There we go. I see DNF for Max Bosov. That means he would have retired. Yeah, he retired. So they asked him to retire. They get about 3 warnings. If they don't, they get ejected off the server. They don't want to be doing that. Rather start the pre-final or the final at the back of the pack. Oh, Lucas Thurman lifting off and going completely off the track. Rather start your final in the back, take a points knock, than get disqualified and then you can't race at all. Tapedi ahead of Van der Merwe as well as Sudjal. So Miso Tapedi currently in 5th place, not having the greatest of qualifying, but really keeping the kart on the black stuff. Tapedi's moving along very nicely right now. Sudjal all over the back of Tapedi. Will he be able to deal with the pressure that gets thrown his way? Sudjal's going to send it down the inside. Tapedi turns in, not realizing that there's a kart on the inside, and unfortunately loses a couple positions from that. But he's not out of the race completely. Ooh, Sudjal getting it all kinds of sideways. Van der Merwe is going to try and go the long way around, getting the inside line into the double left. Tapedi's trying to stick it around there. They're going to go side by side through the chicane. And Van der Merwe just decides this is not worth it. Lifts out and is going to try and send it into a different corner. So the gap in front, 2.6 seconds between Sturman and Willifeed. Willifeed running away. So we'll just stick with this one between Tapedi and Van der Merwe. Let's get it on board from Van der Merwe's perspective. You can just hear this 4-stroke screaming as they lift off the engine. They don't even use the brakes, they just lift, throw the cart in and run with it through the corner. Taperi is being pressurized here from Van der Merwe right behind him. But Taperi is not necessarily focusing on the back, he's focusing on Sudial in front of him. Great racing but between these three youngsters. Final lap, the start of our final lap. And we're going to stay on board with this one because it is heating up between these three. What is Van der Merwe going to do? Is he going to try and send it somewhere into the right-hander? Trying to find momentum through this hard left, throwing it over the curb, climbing the curb very aggressively there. Just keeping an eye on these three. Now a little bit of a love tap there from behind Van der Merwe, pushing Taperi hopefully to get him past Sudial. In at the same time, Taperi's going to try and go around the inside, trying to get himself onto the outside. Not happening, so we're going to just go to Deacon Willifeed taking P1, starting the final in P1. Lucas Sturman will be in P2, Massey Hicks in P3. Then Liam Tekiso lonely race into P4, and Miso Taperi is going to take it to the line, and he gets P5. Does he? No, he's got time penalties. Taperi's got time penalties. Lost actually a couple positions there. Crossed the line before them, but he's moved back because of time penalties. Van der Merwe, Sudial in 8th place. He also has got some penalties. And then Alexander Pricevic from the back of the grid. No qualifying time set. Gets himself up into P6. Then Daniel Resende will be in 10th place. Ruan Victor in 9th. Ruben Victor in 11th. Ruvan Maritz will be in 12th. Blake Mark 13th place. Diego Antunes 14th. Mark Pollard unfortunately at the back there in 15th. Jake Stein behind him in 16th place. And then the DNF or the retired cart of Max Boshoff will start the final in 17th place. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what an action-packed pre-final. There's, of course, points on offer in the pre-final, so the boys will have to try and maximize their points in the pre-final, the finishing positions in the pre-final to score some points from the race. Of course, if you retire or finish to the tail end of the grid, you will not gain a lot of points. Of course, the final is where all the points are at. 25 points on offer for P1 compared to the 15 points for P1 in the pre-final. So the boys will have to try and maximize everything from the race. Right, waiting on all the carts to go to grid. How will we line up? The top 4. Deacon Willifeed getting the inside line. Lucas Timmerman on the outside. And then Massey Hicks with Liam Tekiso on his outside. We are waiting. Leighton van der Merwe had the P2 start. Didn't have the greatest of starts, and he also fell back by quite a lot. He's lost a lot of positions during that race. He came back into 5th place. Will he be able to move along now? This is important for him to get onto the grid and have a good start. Where are we at? Let's see. While we wait for all the carts to come to the line, just have a look at this beautiful grid on this beautiful track that is ATCM in Mozambique. Nice little packed grid. There we go, the start of the race. Let's go. All the these guys put their feet down, Deacon Willifield getting a great start on the inside. Lucas Timmer doesn't seem like he's had the best of starts. You can see a couple of cards just already scuffling for positions in the back. Sturman trying to tuck in behind Willifield. He's going to lose a couple of positions because Massey X is going to just send it down the inside and move himself up into second. So Sturman has to forfeit a couple positions. When I say a couple, I didn't mean all of it. He's lost 3 positions there. And he has to tuck into 4th place. As I say that, Sturman just sends it so hard down the inside of his teammate Massey X. There's a lot of scuffling. Here comes Miso Tepedi on the outside. Going to try and get a couple more positions. Nope. Not happening, says the 2 Agri Sports drivers. They are now going to have to work because look at this start. Once again, Deacon Willifield untouched in the start of the race and he moves away, breaks away from the pack. Oops, there's a restart. What was that? Alright. Oops, there goes a car just driving off into the abyss. Okay, so I'm going to assume there's a restart because of carnage on track. Half of the grid probably took each other out in the background. And the race director says, nope, having none of this, restart. But we have just lost 2 drivers. And so there'll have to be another restart. Alright guys, we're going to have another restart there. Can you please, in the YouTube chat, let us know who do you think is going to take this one? if we had to put any money on racing, which I will never be doing, so I'll say my Easter egg chocolates that I have would have gone to Deacon Willifield on that start in the final. Restart now, so let's see what he's going to do this time around. Unfortunately, something happened during the start of that race and okay, there was a driver cutting the entire track and then took people out. Okay, interesting. So that will probably be noted by the stewards for... Excuse me. That will be noted by the stewards and probably review that for poor sportsmanship. Alright, here we go. We've got the green light this time around. Lights out and we go racing. Another absolutely slow start. We've got a couple guys saying there, Liam, you're his coach. Great. So we're going to keep an eye on the Kiesel there. Deacon Willifield getting another great start. Better off this time around is Lucas Sturman. We've got a couple cards going off in the back. This time it seems a little bit less than the first. Lucas Sturman this time around. He's going to send it down the inside of Deacon Willifield. Deacon realizing that there's a card on his inside and had to lift out very late, last moment. So this time again, or this... in the final, same as the pre-final, Luca gets an early go at it. Will Deacon Willifield be able to come back? Oh, there's carnage happening at the back. We just saw a couple cards doing some crazy things there. So, driver standards from the pre-final to the final, not ideal. But okay, we'll keep an eye on the guys up in front. The fight right now, Sturman, Willifield. The 2 fastest cards on track. And immediately back into P1 goes Deacon Willifield. Will Sturman be able to hold on to the back of him? That is the question. Wow, look at that. Willifield gets by and he's immediately built a couple cards gap. Now we know that the tow around this track with the T4s are an exceptional thing to experience. And as you can see, look at Sturman just getting pulled and sucked back into the back of that rear bumper of Deacon Willifield because of that very, very strong tow. Ooh, Willifield getting it very aggressive on the curbs there. You can just see his car bounce, and that will probably cost him a little bit of time. Here comes Sturman. So let's see if we can get on board and just see how strong that tow is. As you can see, look at him close this gap. It's so fast. Very impressive to see the tow in action here. completely different lines. Holyfield all over the curbs, and Sturman kind of just giving the curb a little bit of a love tap, not doing too much, not too aggressive, trying to keep that momentum going. And we've got Sturman now all over the back of Holyfield. So this is the battle of P1 to take the spoils of the first race. Alright, Deacon Holyfield crossing the line. Oh, Sturman's got a 1 second penalty, so he's already a second behind just on timing penalties. But Sturman is going to try his absolute best to finish first on track and probably appeal the penalty and try and remain in P1. That's if he finishes the race in first. We've got Deacon Holyfield, Lucas Sturman. We don't want to move away from this just yet, but I also want to check what's happening on the rest of the track, as we can just check on our timing sheet. Maybe Leighton van der Merwe is in P3. Ruben Victor has come back strong in P4 with Daniel Resende in 5th. Liam Tekiso in 6th place. Keegan Massix has fallen down the pack. He's in 7th place. Sudial 8th. And Tunes in 9th place. Ruan Victor. Then Max Boshoff in 11th. Maritz 12th. Oh, here comes Deacon Holyfield now down onto the inside of Sturman. And another position change through the first sector, first couple corners. Again, same story as we saw the last lap. The toe is strong, so you're going to benefit from that last corner exit and just sitting in the toe and then just moving out. So no defensive driving by the guys as of yet. And they are kind of just swapping positions and pulling away from the pack. So let's just see what else is happening on track whilst these two are just rotating their on-track positions. Daniel Resende currently in 5th place. Very strong showing here by Resende, the Mozambique, the young Mozambican driver. He's actually in, yeah, he's in P4 on track if I saw this correctly. So he might have a 1 second penalty, and that's why, unless he has passed Victor. But here comes Victor now down the straight, and he's going to try and go. No, it's not going to go down the inside because Resende is going on the defensive immediately. Then Sudial. Victor, we've got, who's that? Maritz, I think. No, that is Liam Tekiso. And Tunes, we've got Boshoff trying to go through the field. He's currently in 9th place. Still a lot to do. We're not halfway yet. So Max Boshoff can definitely still move through the field. Misoto Peri, unfortunately, losing out quite a lot on the start, and he's down into 13th place. Mark Pollard has moved back into P14. I saw him at the back of the pack at some point. And then Black Malt has got a lot of work to do at the back. I think he spun out earlier. Or he might have got taken out. We unfortunately missed that. But we're going to go back to where it is all at. Excuse me. Top honors so far will go to the way of Lucas Sturman. But he's got a time penalty, so it will be swapped around. And Deacon Holyfield. But these guys are not only fighting for on the timing sheets, but they also just want that bragging rights. I beat you on track. Yeah, I got a 1 second penalty, but I was quicker than you overall. And that's why I am happy with even a P2. But these two have been rotating the P1 or the first position on track since the start of the race. And again, here comes Sturman now. Still Sturman all over the back of Holyfield. It does open the door for Leighton van der Merwe to just catch onto the back of them a little bit. He's 2.4 seconds off the lead. So let's see as they cross the line now. It does seem much closer. 2.3. Okay, so he only gained a 10th. I said much closer, not that much. But with these two fighting, it still gives Van der Merwe a big opportunity to come back at the latter part of this race. See if we can get a nice helmet cam. No, I prefer this one from the side. Lucas Sturman. See how he navigates this track. Two very different lines through the section. One on the attack, one on the defense. Sturman just checking over his shoulder. 2.3 is the gap between these two and the car behind. 2.4, so they're still pulling away. Let's just see what does Sturman do through here. Turning that wheel to the right. Now over the curb on the left and hard right. Sturman not sending it this time around, just tapping the brakes. Oh, Max Boshoff retires from the race once more. That's unfortunate. Not a great start for Max Boshoff, unfortunately. I wonder if he's lost a nose cone or something during that race, or if he might have flipped his cart. But we'll just remain on board with we'll remain on board with Lucas Sturman. Just see somebody in the chat there. When is the 2025 carts coming out? I've got very good news for you. By the end of this week, the 2025 carts are coming out, with the exception of the Kart Republic. We need to go up to Joburg and scan those carts. But the KGs and the OTKs, minis and seniors are coming out the end of this week. With a new track in the form of Campilos, with a new engine in the form of OKJ. So expect some great things coming to the OKL space, as well as our brand new OKL app, which will simplify the life of all of you guys that have been struggling to update your mods. So a lot of things by the end of this week, and a couple new things that will be announced in the next couple days. Just keep a keen eye out on our socials. Still on board with Sturman and the Sturman and Olivier fight. If this is, oh yeah, as you can see, somebody lost a nose cone over the curb there. Might have hit that invisible wall, and that would mean another kart will have to retire from the race. Going to the outside is Sturman on the defensive cutback opportunity now. Sturman's got the momentum. A classic move there. Putting the kart on the outside, forcing Willie Feed on the defense, making him turn or steer that car a little bit more aggressively than what he would have liked. And we know the T4s, these things are all about momentum. Lose momentum, you'll lose a couple positions. The fight is still strong between these two drivers. 2.4 is the gap between these two and the kart behind him. He does look a little bit closer this time around. He's Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe, oops, 2 seconds now. So half a second almost gained there. 4/10 gained by Van der Merwe. We've got these two fighting hard. And Van der Merwe is working this kart. There's only 3 laps remaining. Wow, this has gone by so quickly with these two just fighting all the way through. Before we move to the final bit of... Oh, I wanted to swap away or move away from them, but we see a little bit of a cutback happening. Oh, look at how close Van der Merwe is now. Van der Merwe is now really, really close. Van der Merwe is going to give us a front row seat of the battle up front between these two. Leighton Van der Merwe getting a great entry into that last corner, and he's got so much more momentum now. This time around with these two fighting, Van der Merwe is now within 4/10. He's less than half a second now onto the lead. Now look at these cars just being sucked into the back of this fight. So now it's a 3-way battle. Van der Merwe now all over the back of Sturman. Sturman all over the back of Olivier, and we've got a back marker coming up. Back marker going to come into play. Will he cause a problem? That is the question that remains to be seen. Turning into the kart. Yes, the back marker runs very wide, allowing the space. Great stuff. Great awareness by the back marker, allowing these guys to fight on track. And like I said, we've got a front row seat to the P1, 2, and 3 fight on track. What is on offer here for Van der Merwe? Van der Merwe coming back through the field from a horrible pre-final. Not a great pre-final, not a bad one, but look at that. Van der Merwe now all over the back of Sturman. This opens a door for Deacon Olivier to pull away, though. If these two start fighting with 2 laps remaining, then that will open the door for Olivier to run away with this race. What will Leighton Van der Merwe do? Will Sturman be wise to the attack? No late lunge as of yet. 1 more lap to go after this one, so 1.5 laps remaining. Van der Merwe, Sturman, and Deacon Olivier. It is anybody's race at the moment. excuse me, starting the final lap. Here we go. This is it. The final lap of round 1. Is that correct? Yes, that is our final lap. Olivier taking the last lap of the season. Sturman, will he be able to pull something out of the magic hat here? Or will Van der Merwe coming back from absolutely nowhere, back onto this fight, getting himself a podium spot? Is it possible? Van der Merwe and Sturman both seem to have time penalties though. Ooh, look at this. Here comes Lucas Sturman now. Sturman's all over the back all of a sudden. This is our last, heading into our final sector, going into the last chicanes. Will there be a glory lunge at the back of this one? Yes, nope, there won't. Deacon Willifier's got that one covered. Try to sell the dummy. Willifier was not keen on the interest rate, and he takes P1. Willifier takes the victory with Lucas Sturman in second and Leighton van der Merwe in P3. That is our podium for the first race. Unofficial, of course. Then Daniel Resende into P4 there. The local Mozambican boy. What a great race there by Daniel Resende, P4, the youngster that is. Mateo Sudial will be in 5th place. Massey Hicks in 6th place. Ruan Victor will be 7th. Antunes in 8th. Then the older cousin in the form of Ruben Victor in 9th place. Liam Tekiso will be in 10th. Alexander Prajcevic 11th. Miso Tapedi will be in 12th place. We'll have Mark Pollard in 13th. Blake Malt in 14th. Somebody has finished the race without a nose cone, though. Ruvan Maritz on his very first race in OKL in 15th place. Jake Stein 1 lap down in 16th. And then Max Bosov, unfortunately, retiring from this race. That is unfortunate, but what an epic race. Wow, guys, that was absolutely awesome. Such a good race by all these drivers. And we are going to just have a quick interview with the drivers. Let them just tell us how things went. Just flying whilst we get all the kids to finish up. Just a quick one there. Thanks to the guys at ATCM that allowed us to come out last year or the year before. Just a little bit of a tribute to them. But amazing race. This race was again epic. Epic, epic. Which is the shop to get a sim? Tiro, reach out to us on Discord or go to www.onlinekartingleague.com. You'll find my personal number on there. Reach out to me and I will help you. All right. Okay, cool. We are going to just get our youngsters into the commentator's booth. So just give me 1 second. I don't know why my camera changed off. We were just chilling with this guy still waving the flag. What an awesome facility, guys. Alright. First, we have Leighton. Let's see if we can get Leighton van der Merwe. Leighton, are you able to unmute yourself? Or I think I need to give you a quick roll here, hey? Let's have a quick look. It was the same as last time around. There we go.
Let me check. Can you hear me?
There we go. I got you. All right, Leighton.
Perfect.
Epic race. It wasn't the best of pre-finals for you, starting up front, moving back, but you fought through. Tell us what went through your head at the end of that pre-final. Did you think you were still in it? And then most of the race you were pretty much on your own, but that last 3, 4, 5 laps, all of a sudden you got into that toe of the top 2 and it got exciting. What went through your head?
I mean, the pre-final was a bit frustrating, of course. I mean, the track being quite narrow, it's quite hard to race wheel to wheel. And that ended up in a few bumps here and there. So, but other than that, yeah, pre-final was also a bit lonely. But yeah, just a few unfortunate incidents.
Yeah, which is, I guess, part of racing, right? You can't always.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The one important thing is that never say die attitude. You kind of pulled it back. Unfortunately, not enough laps for you to get onto a better step on the podium, but still a podium position. Epic racing, well done, and hopefully we'll see you back for the next.
Yeah, of course. Well done to Deacon and Luca, of course, and then thank you guys.
All right, thank you. Have a great evening.
All right, cheers.
All right, and we'll move myself out of there by accident. Let's just give Luca a role to speak quickly. There we go. Luca Sturman back into the African Championship with another podium. No stranger to finishing on the podium in OKL. Luca, that was an epic race between you and Deacon, pretty much from start to finish. In the pre-final, you got a very early lunge, moving yourself up into P1, lost it there again, and then couldn't keep up. But in the final, you were all over him. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, geez. It was quite close between myself, Deacon, and also some of the other guys. Keegan, Massey Inks was also there, Leighton. Yeah, I think pre-final went, I got ahead. I think I kind of nudged Deacon there. It was a bit, it wasn't meant to. And then he obviously came past me again. And then Keegan was actually a bit faster than me. And then I let him by. And, then we both, I think he got a time penalty. So I think we started P2 and P3 in the final. And then I think before I made the move on Deacon, I think I cut the corner a bit too much, and then I knew I had a time penalty. I know Deacon's been really quick; he's been driving a lot, so I think from there on, we had a really good dice. We kept it clean. Then Leighton also joined in at the end, and then he also had a time penalty as well. And I was also just had to make sure that I could finish. P2 overall. But yeah, well done to the guys. I think the racing was very close tonight.
Yeah, it was super fun. And of course, a time penalty can also be reviewed. So I'm assuming you knew that and you were like, listen, I'm going to try and fight. If I can get the P1, great. But I think P2 is still a good start. Good overall points, right? And there's no drop round. So every bit of points that you can gain from this season, you would like to take. So yeah, congratulations, Luca. We'll see you hopefully for that next round at Swartkops. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the season.
Cool, thank you.
Deacon Willifeer, once again, top step, Deacon Willifeer. It wasn't the easiest start to the race. In both cases, you losing a position very early in the race against Luca there. But it seemed like you kept composure. You kept it nice and interesting. Your pace was definitely untouchable in that pre-final. Talk us through your race. It seemed very exciting.
I was like very impressed about my start. I didn't think it would be so good, but in the pre-final, I thought if Luca had a penalty, I would just push him so that somebody doesn't get close to us, and I would push him. But I saw I was fast, and I passed him. And I saw Keegan was making a move on him, and I thought, yeah, this is my time, and I can break away, and I did it, but I felt like I could have done better. And the final, it was so close, but they had a penalty, so I thought maybe I would just stick behind Luca and push him. But Leighton caught up, and I didn't know what to do, but I kept my pace and won the race.
Yeah, so yeah, good victory there at the end. Just from my side, Deacon, never just settle with being behind, because if they have the time penalty reviewed and it gets removed, you don't want to be in a position where, I thought I was going to win the race, and no. But yeah, congratulations, your pace was epic again. That first start in the final, I thought, oh my word, you're gone for all money. And then I think chaos happened behind you and they had to restart that final. But again, you kept composure, so congratulations, good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we see you at the next race, that would be Swartkops in the African series.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight's race. It was an epic one. Once again, we've really enjoyed these T4 carts that just show you that it's not how fast these carts are. The slower they are, in fact, they actually make for some of the best racing. It was always going to be tricky with a lot of carts on track. My overall thought was that it could have been tricky between the youngsters, the juniors and the seniors, because of course experience comes into play. We have to remind everybody watching this race that some of these youngsters are only 9, 10, 11 years old. and it's very, very soon in their racing career to join into the sim space. But it is lovely to see them, and it's awesome to see these youngsters hold their own against the much more experienced drivers that are, you know, late teens, even some of them early 20s. So it is epic. The African Series once again provides awesome racing at Online Karting League. If you wanted to get involved for whatever reason, be it a supporter, be it a sponsor, or just be it somebody that wants to come and race against all these guys on your local African tracks, please head over to www.onlinekartingleague.com. You will find all the information you need, how to join Discord. There's a WhatsApp button which will put you directly through to me. You can give me a call, I'll help you out. We have everything you need. And this coming week, new 2025 body kits coming out, new OKJ engine. The Mini Rock engine will probably be released in the next week or so. New track in the form of Campelos. A lot of updates to the current tracks that we have. It will be epic. Once again, thank you so much for joining in tonight. We will see you guys next week for the South African Pro League division or the championship race. Hopefully we've got enough drivers. We are fairly certain that's going to be an epic and entertaining race. We will see you guys next week for some super good racing. Thank you all for tuning in. Goodbye.